All right, so I want to dive into this just a little bit more because there's so much value in the network effect of this. If you're able to recognize that these different people that exist have networks, right? It is very likely that they have a list of people that if you do this right, you're going to get them to promote the episode to. So, what do I mean by that? Like, imagine you got on somebody's podcast and you're really excited about it. You thought you did a great job sharing this great information, and all of a sudden they shoot you an email template to be able to promote it to your list of people that you work with regularly. Do you think you might promote yourself and how great job you did on how great of a job you did on that podcast? Like the answer is probably yes, you would. Plus, you need content and you need to be able to put it out in front of more people to generate more business, etc. They're all thinking the same thing. So, with that being said, what you want to do is you want to recognize that these different avatars might also have a list that you get to access. And knowing that, you can strategically think about um, making sure that you create these templates on the back end, knowing that you're going to be able to get them to not only co-collaborate publicly, but when they have their list privately, get access to get people to send um, to watch the podcast. So they're going to be able to send the email to their list, thus driving that traffic to the podcast episode. And when that happens, all of a sudden, if you have a advert inside of the long form video, you're now getting traffic to your ad. And if you did it right, where you put the conversation in a way where you got to bring up organically what you do and it makes sense, and these people are the same type of people that you're having on your podcast, they just happen to be in their network, all of a sudden you're getting free ads to your stuff, right? So just another ninja hack for leveraging the relationships and the leads and the content of podcasting. So there's a lot of other really ninja hack things that I think you need to be aware of about this as well, right? So some of you might be like, John, like I don't really know who the ideal avatar is for my business, and I do this and I do that, but like I'm not sure. It's like, well, think about it this way. What if you had the opportunity to, instead of getting directly in front of your ideal client, maybe you got in front of your ideal strategic partner, right? Somebody who has the network. And if you made a good relationship with them, all of a sudden they're going to be sending referrals to you, right? Like imagine doing that at a large scale, right? Like for the individual that I was talking about earlier about the voice agents, it's like, what if instead of going directly to them, there was a supplier of different like chicken, for instance, for certain restaurants. It's like now you go and you get in front of all those people. I guarantee you they know a bunch of different restaurant owners that could probably use these voice agents. And all of a sudden you're getting yourself in front of their audience of those people, right? So there's a lot of different ways to think about it in that respect. I did a podcast a while back, and it was with a lady by the name of Catherine Jones Lish, and she basically shared this concept of joint ventures, which I found extremely powerful. So I want to talk on that very briefly, really quick. The concept of a joint venture is the idea where it's like, let's say that you have a service. So I'm going to put it in the context of what I do very quickly because I think it'll be really easy to illustrate. So there are certain businesses and consultants and coaches that help other businesses develop offers. Like, how are you actually going to package your services? What marketing message are you leading with? Like, what are these things, right? And that would be what I would consider to be the offers creation side. Well, I'm over here in this other lane, but it's also in marketing. And what it is getting people leads, right? But I'm getting people leads through a podcast. So do you think that maybe it would be beneficial for me to go and talk with this person's audience who is being taught about how to make an offer, but the next problem that they need is they need people to make the offer to? The answer is going to be yes. Like it would be a good thing. And that's what a joint venture is. It's like I'm going and I'm solving another person's problem for the people that they're working with. But if we structure it right, all of a sudden I have the opportunity to be like, hey, like have me come speak in your school group. And when you do, I'm going to pitch this. And if we make X number of dollars, like we'll split it, this percentage. Maybe it'll be like 70-30, 50-50, whatever it is. And so all of a sudden, because you built the relationship through the podcast, with somebody that can do a joint venture with you, you now all of a sudden get access to their audience that they're engaged with very regularly, that has a lot of high trust. And all of a sudden you surpass the fact that we're in a little bit of a trust recession at this time, and you've borrowed trust from the host of the group, and you've successfully made money through the joint venture because you got the right lead on the podcast, right? So it's another meta layer to think about in terms of the opportunities that you can take in terms of this angle, because when we really develop out what your podcast is going to be about, the big thing that you need to be aware of is that, yeah, you can get direct in front of the customer, but you can also get in front of these potential JV people. You can get in front of people that are strategic partners, and you can get in front of people that have the audience that you want. But you can also do another thing, which is pretty cool. And you can get in front of people's stages, right? I would consider this to be pretty similar and on point with the JV concept, because when you really think about a stage, like, what is it? It's people doing a one-to-many presentation, right? Like, it's kind of similar to what I'm doing right now. This video that I'm recording is kind of a stage, so to speak, where it's like, hey, I'm doing this one time, but I don't know how many people are going to come through and watch this. But the opportunity is that through me doing this presentation, there's going to be a value exchange that takes place because I'm on a quote unquote stage, right? And then through that, there's nurturing that takes place and all these other things and yada, yada, yada. So when you go and you develop a relationship with somebody who's on your podcast and they have a stage or a group, the podcast that you create itself is basically a stage. It's content where you guys get to share and be in front of people one to many, right? Simultaneously, let's say that they actually do host a legitimate in-person event. Like, I know that I'm getting ready to host Podcasting Live 2026 here. And I have spoken with people who have been on my podcast, and I have invited them to be on my stage as speakers because they have something that works similar in conjunction to the joint venture concept, but it just happens to work perfectly for what it is that I'm trying to convey at Podcasting Live. So I say all this to say that there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of different ways to look at this. And if you're having a hard time picking the exact avatar that you want to sell directly to, these are other areas and ways that you can get in front of the groups of people that you're trying to work with in terms of them being your leads. So in the end, same rules apply. You got to be able to create a list of how to find them and all that. You still want to be able to factor in how do you create the ROI you're looking to get out of it. How do they get 10x plus? And once you've done all that, you've got your avatar. And we'll go in, we'll name the podcast, create the big question, and the questions you're going to ask on the podcast. So that'll be the next section.